Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. And in that last video, I was talking about tokenization, how they're never going to stop it. That train has already left the station. This comes from Securitize. The total real-world asset market value has officially crossed $20 billion. Tokenization is accelerating. Only 3 days later, and we already hit $21 billion. That's $1 billion in 3 days. And this is only going to pick up more momentum from here. Nothing is going to stop tokenization. This comes from the National Cryptocurrency Association. When it comes to stablecoin rewards, Americans want the power to choose. New data shows nearly 4-to-1 public support for allowing stablecoin rewards and little appetite for government intervention to stop them. And you see it right here, 48%. More than 4 in 10 of Americans believe consumers should be allowed to earn rewards on stablecoins. Most people outside the crypto space don't even know what a stablecoin is. But if you sat down and explained it to them and then went on to tell them if they put all their money into a stablecoin, they can earn 4 or 5%, most people would do that in a heartbeat. People want new ways to earn just by holding an asset. And the checking and savings account is never going to make you rich. And then there's this. XRP just printed a $100 candle on Upbit. What the hell is happening here? Right now, nobody knows what caused this to happen. I see some people saying it was a glitch. Other people are saying something bigger is happening behind the scenes. When I know more, you will know more. But one thing I could tell you is you're going to wake up one morning and this is going to be the actual price of XRP. It is absolutely coming. And I always told you, even if it is a glitch, glitches lead to riches. I always said when we see those really high price points hit in those glitches in the past, I said that was most likely the banks testing XRP at different price points. But it's just speculation. But it happens for XRP all the time. Something bigger happens with this cryptocurrency all the time. We've secured our preliminary electronic money institution license approval from Luxembourg's commission. So it looks like Ripple got another license. This is a pivotal step towards scaling Ripple payments across the EU, bringing institutional-grade digital asset infrastructure to the region. The momentum is global. 75 plus licenses and registrations worldwide. $95 billion plus in volume processed to date, reaching 90% of daily FX markets. So we already know Ripple captured the UK. Now it looks like they're capturing the EU as well. And Smoke said this: Luxembourg's central bank has openly discussed the integration of XRP. Central banks to have discussed the integration of Ripple and XRP include France, Indonesia, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Brazil, England, and many more. We see rails that Ripple created all around the world. Those money transmitter license, that's what XRP is going to be running on in the future. Vincent Van Code is arguing that institutional barriers to holding and using XRP have largely shifted from market structure to plumbing, claiming Ripple has spent 2025 to 2026 assembling an institutional stack for custody, treasury, and payments. So Ripple assembles the XRP Wall Street kit. Institutions juggling billions in 401ks, pensions, hedge funds, banks, and governments. Self-custody was always insane. Audit hell, compliance nightmares, risk officers saying no way. That changed in 2025 to 2026. Ripple built the full stack bridge, regulated, scalable, bank trusted infrastructure so big money can finally hold and use XRP and RLUSD without chaos. Ripple made it like plug and play for institutions. They made it so easy. And the reason they did that is because if something is easy, people will use it. And I think we're going to see a lot of institutional adoption for the XRP ledger. He also goes on to talk about ISO 222 compliant. And that's also going to be part of XRP running across all these rails. ISO is going to be a big deal. It's just we're not quite there yet. But over time, you will realize that ISO was more than just a messaging system. This new protocol update is going to be massive for XRP, a fresh development around native lending on the XRP ledger is drawing stronger reactions across the community. So Ed Hennis is cooking with the upcoming lending protocol for the XRP ledger. Now, this is institutional lending, institutional grade lending, but retail can also take advantage of this. I covered that in videos in the past. You know what's great about borrowing against your XRP or borrowing on the XRP ledger? It locks up more XRP. Yes, borrowing against your XRP typically requires you to lock up or pledge as collateral a portion of your XRP, meaning you can't freely spend or transfer that amount while the loan is active. This is standard practice across most crypto lending platforms that support XRP as collateral. Here's how it generally works in 2026. You deposit your XRP into the platform. The platform locks that XRP as collateral to secure the loan you're taking out. You retain ownership of the XRP. Once repaid, the locked XRP is released back to you. If XRP's price drops significantly, you may face a margin call or risk liquidation, where some or all of your locked XRP is sold to cover the loan. And that comes with borrowing against your XRP. The good thing is, I think once XRP stabilizes, in other words, you're not getting these major price swings anymore, and maybe it runs in between a 3 and 5% window, 3 to 5% price point in the future at a much higher price, I think it would be a lot less risky. Now, here's the good thing about borrowing against your XRP. First of all, you don't have to worry about the taxes. And as you're locking up that XRP, it's leaving circulation. So you're going to see a lot of this happening in the future because people are starting to mature as crypto matures. And less people want to cash out their crypto into US dollars. A lot of people are now starting to see borrowing against their XRP as a better option. Plus, you could be earning passive income to pay back the loan along the way. And you're still getting monthly rewards from your crypto, and you don't have to sell it. So I see this as another part of scarcity happening at some point in the future, because we still got the ETF inflows. We're going to have more treasuries created for XRP. Now you got lending and people locking up their XRP while they borrow against their XRP. Plus, there's also going to be staking. Look at what's going on with Flare as well. I think we're going to see a lot of XRP leave circulation over time. And I think scarcity is going to happen at some point in the near future if things continue the way they are happening right now. Could 5,000 XRP be worth 1 Bitcoin in 2026? That would mean the price of XRP would have to go to somewhere around $20. I think we're going much higher. Honestly, I think 1,000 XRP could possibly be worth $50,000 plus. That would put XRP at $50 plus in this cycle. And I think it's going to happen because we could possibly see scarcity. If that happens, we are going way higher. But if we're looking at a typical run, coupled with utility possibly pushing the price, I think we're going to hit those crazy price points that people are talking about. Plus, if you're factoring in the 2017-2018 run, which a lot of people think we are still following that cycle perfectly, there's a chance we see 3 digits for XRP before it tops off. And then where do we go from there? Are we going to see the major pullbacks? What's going on with tokenization at that time? Is Ripple finally running XRP across all of those rails yet? Are banks starting to come out of the testing phase? There's so many things we got to look at this time around. Over 11.6 million cryptocurrencies failed in 2025 alone per CoinGecko. And you see it compared to 2024 and 2023 and 2022. But everybody was creating their own coin between 2024 and 2025. I've never seen so many people creating coins like I seen last year and the year before. Most of them turned out to be rug pulls. And 99% of crypto is going to disappear anyway once we get regulations in place. The big question is, where does all the liquidity go? Are people going to try to continue to gamble with their money? Or are they going to push that money into something that has actual value that can be utilized in the real world? I think as we start seeing coin after coin dropping one after another after regulations, I think it could possibly be a quick black swan type event, because a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money when that happens. It could pull down the rest of the market with it for a short period of time. But then quickly after that, I think we're going to see anything with utility really start to skyrocket. Just in, Ripple Labs has a total of 39 patents globally, out of which 18 have been granted. Of these 39 patents, more than 62 patents are active. So here's Ripple Labs' patent innovation roadmap. And this could give us a better idea on what's going to happen between 2026 to 2030. So you see, 2025 to 2026, instant cross-border settlement via trusted node subnetworks, obscured routing protocol, smart liquidity models, multi-asset transfer, including tokenized assets on a consensus ledger. That one's going to be big. Resource path monitoring system for ledger and exchange fail state detection. Now, 2027 to 2028, interledger protocol. That's going to be massive. That's where people start to get paid every hour, every minute. All the friction is gone. On-chain identity and compliance layers with zero-knowledge proofs. Decentralized finance, orchestration modules for regulated institutions. Tokenized credit and asset class issuance built into payment rails. Edge computing ledger nodes for high-volume regional settlement hubs. Then you see 2029 to 2030, central bank digital currency. Now, here's why I think a lot of this can happen much quicker because the central banks are now speeding things up. You see how quick they're trying to release the digital euro right now. You're going to see that happen in other countries also. So maybe this timeline, everything happens between 2027 and 2028, and we see it even before 2029. One thing is for sure, though, with Interledger Protocol, I would love to see that go live by the end of 2026. That's going to be a real game changer. So now we have the roadmap. And if things start to speed up and we're starting to see a lot of these things happen in 2026, you can see then that the timeline shifted. But I wanted to show you this because this shows you the time frame for XRP to reach the 4 and 5 digit price points. And I still believe 4 digits is going to happen by 2027 to 2028. It all comes down to how quick is tokenization happening. How many trillions of dollars worth of assets are onboarding to these networks? We really don't know yet. It's all going to play out throughout the rest of this year. And until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.